Hello everybody. So today we are on to day number 37. This is yesterday's page with two 4x6 photos, or 2x4x6 slots, one photo and one big journaling card. And this was the layout that, of all of them this season so far, this is the one that almost, I don't want to say killed me, but it certainly wasn't a pleasant experience, or as pleasant of an experience as it could have been for me. So let's move on. I had told you that I was going out to lunch with a friend, and so I knew what I was going to do. I knew that I wanted to use these 4x6 photo sleeves for that, except she ended up having to cancel. So then I thought, okay, what kind of story can I tell? Because I ran errands instead. I had a lot of errands to do, so that worked out okay. What I ended up doing is I bought this cat toy for my cats. And my mom was home with me for 3 weeks, and she was entertaining the cats during the day while I was at work. So now they're not so entertained, so I bought this cute little toy called the Cat Dancer, which I had another cat who loved it, and these cats seemed to like it as well. So this is Miss Lucy playing with Cat Dancer. Linus right now is a little bit afraid of it. He's kind of a fraidy cat. So what I'm thinking about doing is just putting them onto the page like this, and ideally this would be on this side, but it's not, so I'm going to at least have her look into the layouts themselves. And what I'm thinking about doing here is I think I want to use some multicolor paper. So I pulled a couple of options. I thought I could use that and that. The one thing I don't like about, I like this paper with her, so I like the green, but I don't like this because it's so white based. This is beige, but even that, it just doesn't pop off of there. So I'm not sure that this is the right answer. My other thought was that I could use this multi-stripe. Again, I love this paper, and I actually kind of like the way she pops off of that one. And then I thought about like red or something, but then I remembered how much I liked that green. So I'm thinking that that's the answer to this. And if I'm not sure about this, I could always change which piece of paper was where, if I'm not sure that I like that in the end. So I think that's my answer. Already I have a decision made faster than yesterday, so proud of myself about that. And as always, I always forget what the size of these pockets are. Next year I think I'm going to write myself a little note and put it up there, up in front of me. So I can do a 6-inch card by like 4 1/8. So I'm going to do my green. I just thought about this, and I should probably make sure that it's the same width and height as the card behind it, which it is. So I think what I'll do here is I'm just going to use my scissors to cut this. And this card is pretty flat, so if I wanted to, I could just glue this down, but I want to make it, before I actually commit to this, I want to make sure that I like the colors here. And that green is from Elle Studio Joyful, or Elle Studio Joyful, the Celebrate paper. This is Elle Studio Joyful, the Making a List paper. And I'm just going to see. Yeah. So I think with this one, I'm actually just going to cut around it here just because of and I want to make sure now I have a couple of options here, and what I'm thinking I'm going to do is use the paper this way. The reason I want to do that is I want to bring all the direction back this way, back, and you can't see my hand making the motion, back to my right, so that it's going into the book, not outside of the book, okay? So I'm going to put this on the back. And then once I get these cut down, I'll make sure that I like the arrangement. But I tend to like the lighter papers on top and then the darker papers on the bottom. That's just kind of what I've been seeing for how I like to use things in this process. And yeah, definitely that's it. So I can glue the papers back to back, and they're both relatively flat, so that will be good. So there's that one, and then Miss Lucy will be here, and then we'll glue this one, and Miss Lucy will be here. Now, the other thing I need to do is I need to find a journaling card. And I know I told you that my photo sleeves were coming in, and they did. So these are Cropper Hopper photo sleeves, and I'll show you what I've done. My die cuts were driving me crazy in those little envelopes, so I store all my regular die cuts this way. Here's the photo sleeves with the red and the green in, and they're just divided this way. These will fit nicely in the bottom of my iris tray at the end of the Christmas season. And then I used, what happens is 3 of these envelopes come in one of these big ones, and they're called Cropper Hopper Photo Negative something. Photo Negative sleeves or keepers, but photo, if you put in Photo Negative, you'll get it. So 3 of those come in these, and what I did is I took all my journaling cards now, and they're all in here. And just in case I want to tell you what they are, I have the piece here, so that you know, from the back of the Ellie Studio journaling card, so I'll know which one it is. Frankly, most of these now you're not going to be able to get anyway, so I don't think it's going to really matter. What I'm doing here is I'm just going to take out my cards to see. I'm not sure. I think what I want to do is journaling card down here, embellishment up there. And that will be helpful to know, because then I can decide, like, I think this line and that line is too much. I do like the red, so that will be too much. So I'm just going to quick go through these. I could echo the colors of up above. This is the Notes from December card. If I do this, just in case you don't remember, I have to cover that 2014 there, which is fine. So that one's okay. Not in love with it. There's a present here which would be cute, but it needs to be on the opposite side. It says, let's see, some of these are double-sided, so I'm just kind of looking to see if it is. Here's a cute one, but that will be a little bit too much. So I'm finding all the red here are lined. All of the red pieces are lined. Let's see, this one says Holly Jolly Memories. I don't like how white that is. I thought I wanted to do red on here. I might end up having to go into my stash. Okay, this one says I am dreaming of. That's okay. If I had these in red, that probably would have been really good, but I think I've used those all up. And I'm not going to go take the time right now to cut them up, or, you know, to not cut them up, to go make another one. but I'll have to remember that next year that I used a lot of the red, and I can print them individually. So this is an option. The other option I have is that I do have my other Ellie Studio journaling cards in. I just did this the other day because my other ones were driving me a little crazy. So it's just in this little basket here, and I have them put in 4x6 or 3x4 and then 4x6. And right now, because I don't have enough, I have these two old Prima flower things sitting behind that. So there's a card that says, yeah, about that. Here's one that's just red. I like the red on this green better than I like the turquoise, I think. And what I'm thinking about doing, I might, when I look through my die cuts, instead of making this even, what I might do is put this up and put some of the little die cut down there like that. Okay, so I like the way that looks. Now it's time to embellish. And now that I think about it, I need to see if I can work this in. I have these puffy stickers here, and I have that joy. Oh, and here's a little house. So this could look cute down in here, or maybe up on there somewhere, but I'm thinking I could put joy down here in this corner, which is what I'm going to do, because she is kind of joyful. I like the way that looks, and then that brings the red from down here up into there. Now I could also use the present too, because this kind of is a present. My cats didn't get Christmas presents. They're naughty. Santa didn't bring them anything. Actually, it's because their owner was lazy. And actually, just before I came down here to tape it, or while I was getting ready, they were chasing around upstairs and pulled the plug out of one of the Christmas trees. So Santa probably shouldn't have brought them anything, or I shouldn't have brought them anything today at all. Okay, so now I could do this DEC here, and then this present isn't quite long enough because it feels a little like I'm just stacking it. If it had been here, I think I would have preferred that. But I think I want to get some green up in there. And what I could do is, if I do the present here, I could then, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down. Because I think that will help me decide like where I want things to go. And I'm just going to give it about as much room on the side there, bordering it, as I have on the, let's see, I think that's a little off here. When I scrapbook, I have to go, the way my camera is set up right now, and I'm trying to get that figured out. Something happened with my camera, but I have to reach pretty far in front of me, and it's harder for me to see sometimes what's going on. Now you see why I like these envelopes, because they can just stay right in here. They don't stick to my work surface, and I can just go through them. That's why I really like this. So I'm just looking again to see what else is out here. Okay, so back to this. I liked that. Like that, I think. Okay. Now I just need to decide how far I want this to go. And I think that's pretty good. I don't think I'll be putting anything down on the bottom there, so I'm just going to glue that down. If I do anything at the top, that's okay, like up in here. But really, if I just find the number here, and what I'm thinking about is making this a multicolored layout. So if I could find the number, which is 37, I think I'd be good to go on this card, because the date and everything can go down here, right on this little space right here. So I just need to find some pink letters, which I have. But I'm thinking that this will be too small of a font for this, so I'm going to see what my Jilly Bean Soup letters look like. If I can find the big ones in pink. Unless I already have them in here and I just don't see them. Yep, that's what I didn't look for them, is what the problem was. Okay, so hopefully I can make a 37 here. I have an 8. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is I think this will be good. Yes. So we're going to put the 7 down. S's can be, or 8s can be S's or 3s. And I'm going to pull this card forward. Sorry about that, but although you can see it here. Okay, I'm just going to put it down because it's coming up on me. All right, then I'm going to go back to my 8 here. And if you're not sure how to get the letter, look at the shadow of it, and that will help you too. But I do this all the time with my letters. When I run out of thickers, especially, I use this to make different things. Sarah Swan on YouTube calls it MacGyvering. And I love that term, so I call it MacGyvering now as well too. All right, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm looking at the way that 3 is constructed, and I'm just going to pull this out here. Okay. I'm going to be careful that I don't stick that to the photo. And I think it's good. You're going to, when you really see this, you're going to be really surprised that, I mean, this really looks like a 3. You would have no idea that at one point that was an 8. Okay, so there's that. Now, the one thing is it's almost like I need a little something here that I have too much space. So I think it would be a good spot for a puffy sticker. I could do an ornament, but that's a little big, I think. Or I could do this star. And I think that is the better choice. I'm just going to drop it, trying to decide where I want this to go. And I want it to touch the paper down here too. So, okay, so we have joy and the star and all that, and that is good. I'm going to call this one done and put it in my pocket. Okay, so I have that done, and now that I'm looking at this, this is almost coming out of the pocket. It's a little bit too tall here, so I'm going to just take my scissors here, holding my arm next to my body, and then just cutting it. And I didn't put this on here very straight. So I'm going to see if I can take it off without wrecking the whole card. Now I use ATG, and you'll see how it's secure on there, but it's coming off pretty easily. So, and this is yesterday, 24 hours ago that I actually did this. So, okay, just want to make sure I have the bottoms right. Okay, and now that's going to look a little bit better. It's a little more straight. Okay, so back to this layout. All right, so we have Lucy in the pocket, and now we just need to figure out what I'm going to do with the bottom one here. Get that stuck on there. And I'm thinking, I got a piece in there. What I'd like to do is somehow, okay, so I said what I'm thinking about doing is maybe putting something along there. And I could do it in the blue, I could do it in the green, I could do it, I don't want to do it in red, and the green might be difficult to see. I do that, I think there's not enough color up in there, so that means I either want pink or green most probably. I have gray, but I don't think that's going to look so good. Now I do have, I just saw something, this says special delivery. It might be a little too white though, with all this other stuff going on here. Yeah, I like the idea of this, but if it was on a different color, that might have worked. Just, I don't think it works. And now I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, like if I use pink right on top of that, it might be a little bit hard to see because of the red. So what I'm going to do is look for something blue to put right here. And I could do this joy card. Not a big fan of that though. And it needs to be sort of big. There's one that says cookies and milk, which is cute, but is not exactly. There's another piece that says ho ho ho. So if I did that plus that little house, that might work. Or even better, if I did that plus this. And put the house there. Okay, I like that idea. I also have a stocking here. That's like too much. And I'm just going to check just to see if there's anything else. These are, I accidentally, well, I actually didn't print these. This came from the, what do I want to say? The back of the journaling cards. And I had more than one piece, so I think if that white thing wasn't sticking out, that would be perfect. So now I'm getting a little crazy about what I want to put on here. Here's a little date label. I think what I need to do see if I like this any better. No, not so much, because the story would be above that. There's something that says magical. Okay, note to self, anytime I have a winter layout, I need to be using these because there's so many winter themes. This is cute. It says the magic of the season, but yeah, it's too white. All right, so I think I should stop playing around here. What I'm going to do, stick that there for a second. Again, I'm going to have the same spacing on all three sides of that card here. This card came out of an Elle Studio Bits and Pieces grab bag that I got at Thanksgiving, in their day after Thanksgiving sale. Okay. So then, what I'm going to do, I think, is drop Miss Lucy on here with about the same spacing on the side. Now, what this is doing is it seems to be putting all the weight towards the center of this card, which I'm not totally appreciating that look. But it kind of, I think, with the way this is. Okay, I'm going to pull that off just a little bit. There's a little bit more space on that one side than the other. Okay. And then I can, now that I get this down fully, because if I get this down, then it won't slide on me. And I can decide what I want to do here. So what I could do is, there we go. I think that's better. It was weighted way too much to one side. I'm trying to decide, do I want it up? I think we're going to put it down like that. I'm just being way fussy today. I don't know what's happened. I used to just be, okay, that's a good thought, let's just do it. But I think part of it is I have some more time to, it's, I only worked this morning today, so I have more time. And I think the more time I have, the more time I use. And isn't that the truth about us all? Okay, so I like the way that looks. Maybe I can use, I could do the same up here, is use some of those little dots here as enamel dots. I actually think that's what they were intended for. So I think I'll put 2 here. And I'm coming down to the end of my days here, so I don't think it's going to hurt anything to be using pieces up. Okay, so I have 2 there. Let me get that one on there. And then this may not work, although I think what I'm going to do is this, and let's just put 2 up here. This star is bothering me for some reason. I don't know what it is, and I may not be able to get it off of here. Yeah, actually I can. It felt like it was too weighted towards the top of this piece, is the only way I can describe what I was feeling here. And I'm playing around with this quite a bit, but okay, I think I need to say, let that be good enough here. And now if I wanted to, maybe I could do, this might be too much. Yeah, that's too much in too small of a space, which might be part of my problem with this too. But, you know, let's call it good. Lane Amen, who used to have Scrap Peppy, always used to say better done than none. And I think I need to just take that approach with this and be done with it. And I'll just show you the way this is, because I have to, how that looks, because I need to do some scrapbooking. I'm really happy because I have most of my stickers gone there. My puffy stickers gone. All right, so this is today's layout, much easier than yesterday's, and I'm really happy with it. So I will get the journaling done on this and get the pictures taken. I'll see you tomorrow.